Thank you for renting from Easy Camper Rental. This is a quick walkthrough of the 4800 watt rental generator. It has a 1.9 gallon fuel tank, and that will operate for 7 hours on a half load. So if you're more than a half load, then it's going to be decreased. If you're less than a half load, then it will be increased. When you refill the tank, please use 87 octane or above, and please use ethanol free if available. The operation is very easy. The first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that eco mode is off. So what eco mode does is it halves the wattage, but it's a lot easier to start if you have eco mode off than on. Then you come over here and you've got engine off, fuel off, run, and choke. So engine off is if you want to turn the generator off immediately. Fuel off is if the generator is running, you can set it to fuel off, and it will burn all of the fuel out of the carburetor and then turn off after about 3 minutes of running. So if you're going to use the generator again, I'd just use engine off. If you're done using it, then just put it to fuel off and it will run that fuel off. And then you have run and choke. So if the generator is cold, put it to choke. So over here, and then you will start it. If it's already warm, you've been running it, then you can just put it to run and start it. So when you put it to choke, when you first start to run it, it's going to take a little while. It will run a little rough for about, I'd say 15-20 seconds, and then you can put it to run, and then it will even out, and it will run fine after that. And then when you're using machine, just make sure that it is off the ground if it's sandy or dusty. If it's on firm ground, there's no dust or sand, that's fine. But if it's dusty or sandy, it will suck that sand or dust up into the generator and it will cause issues. So make sure you're just mindful of the ground. And then when you start it, you will want to run it for about a minute before you plug anything in. And what you want to do is you want to make sure everything is unplugged. Again, you want to make sure eco mode is off. And you want to start it, run it for about a minute, and then plug in whatever you need to run. And then if you stop it and start it again, you do need to, it's best if you unplug everything, let it run for a minute, and then plug everything in. So for example, if you want to run the AC, you want to make sure that the AC controller on the inside is off. You want to make sure the generator's unplugged. You start the generator, you plug it in, and then you go and turn the AC on. And this generator will run an air conditioner, it'll run the microwave, it'll run everything in the trailer. However, it might not run everything at once. So for example, you might not be able to run the microwave and the AC at the same time, or any multiple high voltage units. So just be mindful of that. So I'll go ahead and start it, and then I'll show you on the front side. Okay, so I've got it set to run because it already is kind of warm. So I'm just gonna go ahead and full start it. Again, I had my eco mode off. I'm actually gonna put it on so it's a little bit quieter when I'm talking. You'll see the display here, and this mode set button will show you voltage, frequency, and time. So really the only one you need to be concerned with is your time. That's your hour meter on the machine. This fuel is blinking because it is low fuel. There is a gauge on this side, 0 to 100, and there's bars that are lit up, but it's low, so it's blinking. If there's any other issues like low oil, this will light up. If there's a fault, this will light up. And then here you've got your 30 amp plug for the trailer. And then you've got multiple USB ports, a 12 volt DC, and then some 15-20 amp like household plugs here. So then if any of these trip, then you can use these breakers to untrip them. And if it resets, like for example, you tried to run multiple very high wattage appliances, then it will trip the generator. You'd have to unplug everything, and then you could reset it here. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this off again. I'm not going to put it to fuel off, I'm just going to turn it off for the purposes of this. But again, I could have put it to fuel off. It would have ran for about 3 minutes. The fuel would have burned out, and then it would have shut off on its own. But that's the easy operation of the 4800 watt rental generator. Thank you for renting from Easy Camper Rental, and I hope you enjoy your vacation.